In this lab, we're going to review an obfuscated bat file. So we can go to HackDev, Model 8, Lab 2, and here it is. Okay, we can notice there's a lot of environment variables, around 170 lines, and a few readable characters. Let's read the first lines and try to deobfuscate them manually. Once we understand the pattern, we can also create a script of our own that can help us to deobfuscate the whole file. Okay, now let's inspect the first variable. It's very weird looking. It doesn't seem to be an existing variable. However, we can actually check it using the Windows command prompt. Let's try to echo it. So let's type cmd and copy this variable. We try to echo, and okay, this means the variable is not defined. So what happens in this scenario? Well, when Windows command prompt executes this file, reaches this variable, and it notices it's not defined, it replaces the variable with an empty string. It's like if the string is not actually there. So we could simply remove it, and this script is equivalent. Before we do further modifications, let's copy all the file and paste it like I don't know, original, and it's a bat file. Great, so we do not lose the original file in any case. Okay, so let's go to the next variable. It also doesn't seem to be a previously defined variable, and this variable to also be not defined, then the whole command would be echo off, which is an instruction that tells the command prompt to not show in the screen all the commands that are executed. So let's just test that this is actually not defined. Okay, it's not defined. And what about this? Okay, it's not defined. So we can safely remove them. Great, this is echo off. Okay, we can continue like this. So maybe we can start making some assumptions. If this variable is not defined or is empty, this command would be a set a variable C28, which is equal to the letter C. The next instruction would be set a variable AR01 to the letter O, and so on and so on. So this first part of the script seems to only be defining another environment variables up until this at sign, right? Because this also looks like S. This would probably be an E and a T. So let's modify this file to exit right here with exit/B, and let's remove this echo off. So now all the lines will be printed to the screen. Let's try to execute it. Let's navigate to the folder. We are at C Users Defender. We need to move to Desktop, HackDef, Module 8, Lab number 2, and to execute it we just type the name obfuscated.bat. And great, we can see there's a lot of set commands, just as expected. It's defining a bunch of environment variables and nothing else. Great. We can maybe start making some assumptions. These variables look quite small, with letters and a few numbers, and these other empty variables seems longer. So maybe we can try replacing all the variables that are too long. For that, we're going to use this function of replace in Notepad++ with Control H. We're going to use a regular expression. We want to look for variables, so 2 person signs, and in the middle we want to match everything except another percent sign and this new line characters, and we want this characters to appear at least I don't know, 6 times or more, and replace them with nothing. So let's test it with find next. Okay, so that's probably empty, probably empty. Okay, seems fine. So let's replace all. And great, we can see most part of the set commands. And we can see set C28C, set AR01. Oh, and here is using this previously defined variable. So this is going to be C. Great. And probably this variable is used later. Okay, so yes, we should check all the variables that are never defined and check also for those that are previously defined. So that's going to be quite complicated. Oh look, it's also used here. Okay. Maybe we should go back to before we replace the long variables, so we do not lose anything. And let's try another approach. Let's copy all this variable setting and use it like a mapping, so we can look up for declared variables. Let's copy this hitting the enter key. We paste it in a new file, probably called mapping. And for example, we want to check if C28 is defined. So we copy, we go to our mapping and paste it. To use the find feature, we hit Control F and write whatever we want to look up. So C28 is actually defined and it's a letter C. So we can replace this with the letter C. We can look up for this other variable. Again, Control F, we paste it, it's not defined. So we can remove it and look for now this other variable. It's a letter O. So great, so this is echo and probably off. But here it's using this notation for substrings. So let's test this on our command prompt. And this is the letter O, right? But is this variable defined? No, that's because this variable is predefined by the Windows system. So it's also using those variables like program W64 or program files x86 and so on. So we should take care of that. Okay, so this is an O, echo off, the same trick at the very beginning to simply not show what's going on. So we can safely remove it. Now here we don't actually know what could be executing. These lines does not seem to be like the ones above. This doesn't seem to be a set. So we maybe should trying to deobfuscate this line first. Let's look up for this variable. It doesn't exist, so we can remove it. Now this one is actually just below. It's letter T. This variable we copy, try to find it. It doesn't exist, so we can remove it. Again, this looks like a system-defined variable. Let's check it at the Windows command prompt. It's an S. Great. So the first part is task L. This also looks like a non-existing variable. We can remove it. Q16 is actually below. It's an S. Task list. Again, it's a longer variable. Doesn't exist. So we remove it. Now this variable, it's T. And finally this variable, it doesn't exist, so we can remove it. So it's executing task list, but what does that command do? Let's execute it here. Task list. Okay, it's used for printing all the processes that are being executed by our system. Okay, so it's using that info to, I don't know. But now that we understood the pattern, we could try to automate the process, write a script of our own to deobfuscate the whole file. For that, we have this tool called Nessa script. Okay, here we have some common deobfuscation techniques used for bat files, PowerShell scripts, and JavaScript files. This is the main execution flow. We are going to use this function actually, batch deobfuscation. We go here, and here we have already written a batch deobfuscation empty variables function that is going to execute what we already did manually. Okay, so we're going to process the content of the file line by line, trying to look up for variables, also handling when we want to extract a substring. We get the variable value. If that value is like a null, we do not make any replacements. And yes, if we want a substring, we just extract that substring and replace everything in the file. In the case the variable is not defined, well, we are making the assumption that the variable is actually empty, so we replace with an empty string. And here is how we are going to check the value of a variable. We check if the variable is already predefined by the system, and in case it's not, we are going to look at all the previous lines, looking for the pattern set, the name of the variable, and an equal sign. In case we find that expression, we know that variable is being defined previously. And for predefined variables, we simply have this pre-filled array with some common used environment variables and the actual value. So that's it. Now we can execute our script and see what it does. Okay, to execute a PowerShell script, we need to write PowerShell. We need to specify an execution policy bypass to be able to execute or PS1 files. We use this relative path to the Nessa script. So tools, Nessa script. Our script requires to provide the file path of the script to be analyzed. This is obfuscated. We want the verbose output, and we do not want to execute the resulting file. Now we hit enter, and the process is being done automatically. Great. Now we can go to the result file, and here it is. All the set that we already got or exit and well, now it's clear. Task list, find string, and oh, alright, so it's looking for these strings in the processes: a bbox service, bm tools, bms rbc. So it's kind of looking if the script is being executed inside a virtual machine. Let's try that manually. Task list, find string, ignore case, and okay, let's test for bbox service. Okay, and it actually exists. Okay, so now at line 162, it's an if, but it's quite odd. It doesn't have the left operand. Let's go to the original file and see what's going on. So with this line, we know this should be the if statement, the if keyword. Then we have this probably empty variable. Of course, it doesn't exist. And okay, so here is using the variable error level, which is not being defined by the script, and it's not in our array of predefined variables. So it's assuming it's an empty variable and it's like deleting it. That's what's happening. So we can fix this simply writing here error level. And okay, it's basically checking if the find string executed correctly. So here's checking if the find string command actually found one of the strings, meaning we are being executed in a virtual machine. So we exit the script and do not execute anything else. Great. What's next? Let's remove this check so we could execute even if we are at our virtual machine. Actually, we can remove everything here. And now it's executing for a weird definition of a variable A. Now it's getting a substring and doing an echo of something that got removed, and it's looking for the string Windows 10. So let's go to 163. Here it is. Oh, but we already removed something, so it's originally 167. So here. So this first part should be up until the space echo. Oh, right, so this variable does not exist. And right is doing echo of the variable A. Okay, so we can fix this with echo A. And right, so this probably is being used to get the Windows version. And okay, it's looking for the string Windows 10, and probably the same problem like the previous if. So it's just a line below error level, of course, and okay, so we can do error level, and that's it. In this case, it's checking if it's not equal to 0. So if the find string command did not found the Windows 10, we are not executing. Okay, so this script only executes in non-virtual machine Windows 10. Okay, great. We already fulfilled that condition, but we can remove it. Okay, and now we can see it's making a modification to the registry. HKey, current user, software, Microsoft Windows, current version, and run, which is the registry for persistence. And it's using the value of some update checker to not looking suspicious. And this variable, this special variable, is used to specify the path of the current file. Now it's defining a variable u, which is a URL that is not clear here in the original script. Here we can see the u equal sign, and yep, this looks like the URL, but not clear. and here is in a clear version. Okay, and now is executing curl to make a GET request to this endpoint and sending the output to the PowerShell binary. So this bat is being used to download a PowerShell script which is going to be executed, and that is our next lab.